And that looks like his mother by his side. And here. I don't know what they're saying here, but I think when Usher, he was 15 at this age when he said this. So this scares me. So if you're listening, he turned this camera on himself. Let's see.
Run, nigga, nigga, nigga.
You can say motorcycle too.
He wasn't doing this by himself, and this was a real, and I think this is the reason why he got raped, because they were upset. It doesn't make it right, but they didn't know how to discipline him, because at this point Usher knew that they were putting a misrepresentation. If this is what how Justin Bieber truly felt as a person about the Black community, every Black person that loved him, any girl that ever, including myself, that ever thought that they could date him would be at risk of another white guy burning a Black girl. If you've seen Murray, there is this Black guy. There is this white guy that dated this Black woman. I don't know. They said they were in love, and he literally burned her. He poured gasoline on her and burned her. I fear that for my life, dating Justin. But I can't deny him. So let me show you a video. Hopefully I can find it on here. There she is. I believe this is her. It says, Murray show, Black girl gets burned by racist white boyfriend. There is an episode. You have to see the girl. There was a girl that told her story, and this was when I was little. And on the there it is. Nope, that's not the one. That's not the one. I feel like at this point, I wish I can just hear more, but I'm not gonna.
I want everybody to take a look at a photo of my next guest, Martina, when she was a young teen. Now, at this age, Martina desperately wanted to look like Pamela Anderson. So after 10 years and several cosmetic surgeries, Martina transformed her looks into this.
Okay, this is the wrong
But she
one.
wasn't done.
This is the wrong one. So there's an episode around here. But anyway, she got burned by her white boyfriend. And it was horrible. I remember the story. The white boyfriend poured gasoline on her and lit a match and literally burned her. And she was lucky that she didn't die. That's the scariest thing that has ever happened, that could ever happen to a Black person. And that's why I warn every And I feel like Justin did do that warning as well. But there is so much, Justin, now that we have to do for the Black community, just because I feel like we definitely owe them that, because this breaks my heart. And I know you feel like, I mean, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. From the bottom of my heart as a woman, I feel like I forgive you with all my heart. I forgive you with all my heart, babe. I would never try to hurt you. And if you're scared, and I know what it feels like to be scared, just know that I'm just as scared of you and your mental disorder, because this is serious. This is serious. We're going to get into the history of this, but let me just show you something. So I was on this show right here, but I want to see if I could find myself. I was a litigant on this show. I wonder, it just came on my mind right now. I know that's besides the point, but it says justice for all, so. I don't think that it matters that I find that right now, but because I have this justice for Justin, and Justin talks about justice, I sort of just wanted to find it, but it's pretty old and I don't think we're gonna find it. Anyways, I was on this show before and I was a litigant, one of these people. This is my baby. This is Justin. This is who I believe is Justin. I just don't know if it's for real, but I know to me it is because of the way he's taught. He's been. I haven't been getting these messages. But I could be wrong. I believe this is Justin because he's detailed in how he's talking to me. But I don't know. It could be anybody. But I've never seen messages like this until I started. I could be wrong. I did this. This has to be him. This is so beautiful. But you see that? I feel like that's how he's talking to me because I did a video that said no condoms. So those are all ways for me to know that it's him. And this is what he says. but I don't know for sure. But is it a coincidence that all of a sudden I get a message like this? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that it's a coincidence and I'm just losing my mind? It could be. Look. And I'm the only one that has a video on YouTube literally masturbating over Justin. So I don't really want to tell people this. It's really none of their business, but I just want to release it's probably the reason why he probably will take a while to say anything to me, but I hope not. Okay. I don't want to tell people this. We're going to edit this up. No matter how many times we fight, I'll never give up on this. Right, baby. That hurt. And I'll get into that a little bit later. And I feel like that apology was necessary. And he made it a lot bigger. Let's get to this here. This, it's really hard to talk about. This hurts.
The Ku Klux Klan. The Klan march may have
And
been
this
cut
is the
short,
history
but apparently it helped membership.
that
Other
Justin
than
did not
Coke
know.
bottle,
He
what's
said
more
they never taught him
recognizable?
this he said they never taught him this. This was hate towards the black community. And Justin said they never taught him this in Canada. So here's a little bit of the lessons. So many white people hated black people that they bullied them. Imagine being brought to this country to clean up after everybody, right? And so many black people are still suffering today because of this. Because of this. And people say black people were not the only slaves, but they were the only ones that were put in fire. There were, and it's deeper than this. This is just the surface. There were movies there were movies of literal white people literally burning black people. And look at this. An act of hate that happened because they felt like the universe hated them. That's my only guess. They couldn't stand being in the sun. A lot of white people were killed at war, but black people were killed as well. This is why it's so important to be extremely careful. And I think they educated him, but they never told us that they educated him. So here, this is the guy that, I believe this is Justin. So I don't think, but I believe so. I hate this disgusting. There's this stuff on here. So I don't want to show that. And I don't know why I keep running into this. And a big part of me doesn't really want to read into it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that's him. I don't want to believe it. I feel like I have no choice but to believe it because I feel an energy coming from these messages. And I feel his energy. And energy is real. So I'm not going to doubt. But so many... So, convicted child molester left after life in prison sentence. These were child molesters, right? And this is where I'm saying, even with all this happening, people have still not built. They've destroyed so many black lives. So many white lives were destroyed at war. And so that's their excuse, is so many white people had to fight for the black community to be here. And what did they do? Just stand around and do what? But look how outnumbered. Look how many. It was so much of this going on. And for Justin to go out and say what he said.
One less lonely. One less lonely. There's gonna be one less. If I kill you, I'll be part of the KKK. Then there'll be one less lonely. There's gonna be one less lonely.
I feel like this is directly to me. I feel like
Father's Day. That's just mean. That's just straight. Why are black people afraid of chainsaws?
Father's Day.
Don't even say it. Don't say Run, nigga, nigga, nigga.
You can say motorcycle too.
So these boys were recording this as a warning. As a warning to me personally. I don't know about every other black person. I don't feel like they knew it was for me, but...
In the brief clip, Justin Bieber can be heard telling a joke. And the punchline is a racial insult.
That wasn't a joke.
Father's Day.
That came from his heart.
That's just straight.
Why are black people afraid of chainsaws?
Don't even say it. Don't say it.
You can say motorcycle too.
The Sun on Sunday newspaper claims the Canadian musician's representatives tried to keep the video hidden for a huge sum of money. The incident is the latest in a series of controversies involving the former teen heartthrob.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
He's due to stand trial in Miami next month on charges of driving under the influence, resisting arrest, and using an expired license. In February, Bieber was charged with assaulting a limousine driver in Toronto. He's also made headlines for allegedly smoking dagga, arriving late at his concerts and failing to look after a pet monkey.
No more. ENCA.com.
And what
Justin Bieber is
scares
probably
me- What scares me the most is... What scares me the most is that what if I'm sleeping and this is my husband, right? And me and him get married and I'm sleeping and I get him upset and he burns my body to death. What if he does something like that? What if he grabs a chainsaw and hurts me? Hurts me, hurts my kids. What if everything that he's doing is just an act? An act to not be hated by the black community because he was exposed, because they revealed the truth about how he truly felt about black people. Because I'm not trying to hate Justin, but I love Justin. I'll always love Justin. I would never burn anybody. I would never do anything like that. I've never done anything like that. I've shown nothing but love towards the white community. And for me, all I could look and say, this is an act. But I don't believe it's an act. But it probably is. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like he's acting, trying to be black. He could have been putting on a show for them. They were probably racist. So if you guys would speak out, that'd help. So let's watch this.
Footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
I don't want to see this anymore. I'm sick and tired of listening to this same bullshit over and over, right? We need to get on this. So if Justin ever felt afraid, it's only afraid because of his actions. And I don't know how to feel. I want to cry, but I know if I deny Justin, I don't feel like I'm happy inside. I don't feel like I'm a forgiving person. I don't feel like I'm the godly person. It's like, who else? Love is not a choice. When you love someone, you don't choose to love them. You just love them. It's just a feeling that comes naturally that you cannot. And when someone is your twin flame, that person mirrors. And like I said, whenever I said I hated black people, it obviously wasn't all black people. Another thing is, I would never, well, technically, I sort of would say things like, you know, why don't we just call Trump on them, right? That's what I would say. I would be honest to say that I would say things like that but I wouldn't say it to their face. I never said it. Maybe I've said it on camera, sort of, just to be honest, because mirrors mirror each other. And the reasons behind those words was the hurt that they put me through. And even if I was angry, I never knew nothing about chainsaws, and I would never want to torture black people. I would never want to torture white people. I would never want to torture animals. I've tortured a lizard before when I was little, not purposely. I don't know why it happened. You know, my sister, I actually know why it happened. My sister told me to do it. When a child is little, you can easily make them do something. Why would I grab a lizard and cut its stomach open and put rocks in it, take its intestines out and to put rocks in it? I did this when I was little. God has been with me. God has been around me. Was God in me when that was happening? God was with me. God was in me because God prevented me from falling inside of a hole in Africa. So many African children were killed and burned in fire. I don't want to rub it in and make you feel sad, but just know that whenever you feel afraid to be around a black person like me, that fear is the same for me. To be around a white person like you, to go to a place like a mansion, right? To go to your mansion in Canada, right? Where there's no neighbors. Look how scary this is. So all I could think is a bunch of white people are gonna grab me and try to sacrifice me to their gods. But white people know how to pretend. They know how to act black. They know how they would do anything if they want to get rid of the most important black person in the world. They will not. They won't stop until it's done. And this is Justin Bieber's mansion. Justin Bieber's mansion, there is no neighbors. Anything could happen in here. This is his property. Who would know if anything was to happen to me in here? Who? I would die and who would care? Who would care? Who would care? This is why I've always loved living in apartments. But when you live in a house with a racist-hearted man, a man that would say such racist things, it's one thing to say you hate black people, but to say, if I was to kill you, I'll be part of the KKK. And if you say, run, nigga, run, are you serious? I forgive you. I have no choice but to forgive you. But just keep in mind how I feel. This is why I would say, why don't we just get to know each other slowly? By slowly, you come to my place and see how safe you are around me before taking me to your place. Get to know me if that's what you want to do. But if not, we can jump into the relationship. What do we have to lose, right? Except for each other. Because running from this relationship is not an option. We don't have an option. I had a premonition. I don't even want to cry. I had something where this is my mirror. So I've never had this with anybody. I don't know what that noise is, but it's bothering me. And he was 14 years old here. it still doesn't make it okay that P. Diddy did this. I'm still not happy about that. I'm not happy that Usher, this was around the same age. He looks like he was around the same age. He was 13.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Justin Bieber did not know what was about to happen to him. Justin Bieber did not know what was about to happen to him. Justin Bieber's brain, a 13-year-old brain, is not functioning properly. He learned that behavior from somewhere. And as many kids that we see, look at this. As many kids that we've heard say the N-word, I guess the way he said it was the worst. I don't know. I'm not angry at him. I'm just more hurt. And I'm even more hurt and angry that P. Diddy did this. Because
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours?
Look at this
right
boy's
now,
face.
he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his
clueless.
boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's
Justin Bieber
dream.
definitely did this. I mean, not Justin Bieber. P. Diddy raped him.
Been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Kill this guy. I can't even defend. I would never defend a piece of shit like this man right here. I can't defend a piece of shit like, I'm not talking about Justin, I'm talking about P. Diddy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because when love is unconditional, love is forgiving. Love is forgiving. Love is letting go. Love is facing that man and telling him, I'm sorry that you went through what you went through. And even though it hurt me, I feel like it hurt you more. Because you had no clue. You were not educated. In Canada, they didn't teach you. This is what you told me. There's a lot of his songs that he says, I lied to you. I'm sorry I lied to you. So I wonder, did he lie? Did you know? Was it purposely? I've done that before. I've never said what you said. I would never burn a black child. But like I already told you guys, my feelings are different. Black people, when they curse each other out and call each other names, it's different. It's different. But when it comes from a white person, it's not a joke. It's very different. It's very different. It's war. You understand? Because when black people fight, it's like they're dealing with each other, which we don't want them to fight. It's like they're dealing with each other. When white people fight, when white people say these kind of things to black
It was
people,
hard for me being that.
when white people call a black person the N-word, the way Justin said it's an act of hate. And it should be against the law, I think. I think it should be, because this man could have died because he was abused and raped in the industry. And had he not been educated, this could have been prevented. This is what I'm saying. So many kids like Justin need to be educated. And that's what Justin said. He wants to educate, and that's what I'm for. Because how do we move forward? We can all sit here and get mad at Justin and hate Justin and be hurt by him, or we can turn from that, flip it around, and make a difference. And as many white people as you guys might hate, there is a lot of black people that we hate too because of their actions. But at the same time, I don't have hate for them. I have compassion, because I know that if they built programs, if they did things to make a difference, if they do things to make a difference, if we do things to make a difference, because at this point, I'm not talking to anybody else. The only thing we can do is to make a difference, have our own kids, but not ignore the kids that are already here, because they're waiting for us. They're waiting for people like us, right? To make that difference. Don't say you're sorry. Don't just say you're sorry, babe. Don't just sing a song. Build communities. Don't just give $30 to a homeless black person on the street. This shit is deeper than that. Because when you go around the corner, all you see is consistent black people. Every corner being neglected, continuously being neglected. I cannot splurge and ignore the black community and date you and not do anything, especially when there's so many black people that have came and invested in your music and have given you the props. They have sat in the studio and loved you regardless, right? And yes, you've employed them, but there is also more black people that are broken, that are hurting because of the damage white people did to the black people that were brought here in America. Because if they were gonna get killed, why didn't you just leave them in their country? If you hated them that much and they were that useless, dear Trump, then why bring them here? Why bring them here and keep them here? Why not finish them off if they were that useless? And then tell them they have nothing to lose. I would never preach such a word. I would say I hate you guys. I would tell my boyfriend I hate you. I would tell my mother I hate you. These are people that hurt me. But there is a different love when you're in love with your twin, when it's your husband, when it's someone you have deep compassion for. There are different feelings. You feel different. It's like you have God in you and you have to turn. But every day you're praying. Every day you're sleeping in the same bed with this man, and this man has to keep proving to you that his love for you is real. He has to prove to you that he is not playing. That, babe, your life matters to me. The only way you could do that, of course, is the one biggest way besides building communities is giving me my own children, right? From you. Because if it's your kids, would you do that? Would you do that if it was your babies? Would you want people to talk to your children that way? It hurts if they talk to my daughter that way. The universe, you were raped because the universe was showing you what happened to people in the Black community. White people don't talk about what's going on with them because it's pretty much irrelevant compared, and not saying that your life doesn't matter, irrelevant compared to what went on. I know the battles that you guys went through, but 2 wrongs don't make a right. You guys are still winning. You're still living in $1 million mansions while the Black community is still falling, while they're all still around the corner, 1 meal away from completely dying. And when they take them to shelters, guess what? There is always the white person or the Spanish person that gets favored, that gets more favored, that becomes a favorite. And there is so many Black people, white people that come in the name of being Black and wear their hats backward and get credit for Black swag, but never given into that community, never given back to the Black community. And I'm not talking about giving head or giving it, none of that. It's building. That's the only way to say sorry. My heart, if I don't choose you because you're already chosen for me, but I choose you because you're mine. We're each other. We belong to each other. I'm not saying I don't choose you. I don't love you. I choose you. But if I choose you, we're going to say we're sorry together because we are one. Now your sins are my sins. Your sins are my sins. The sacrifices you've made, I've had to make. Now everybody will look at me waiting for a difference to be made. And I'll look at my husband because he has the money. If he chooses he doesn't want to be with me, if he chooses he wants to delay the process, that's on you. It depends on how bad you really want this. I can't force you to come to me. I can't force you to be mine. I can't force you to talk. You have to make that decision yourself. You have to know what you owe them. You don't owe them head. You don't owe them sex. You owe them a bigger apology because you want, it's in your music, Justin, babe. And I'm speaking with love. I don't want you to commit suicide or think I hate you. I'm talking to you as a woman would speak to a man that she deeply loves, desperately and vulnerably loves. If you were sitting right here, I would talk to you the same way. There is a reason why we're apart. I don't want us to be apart. This separation definitely kills me. I still have love for you. Not just love, I'm still in love. In love. I mean, they told me you have to go get this tattoo. You don't have a choice. I wanted to, but I hesitated because I didn't know if this was real. But the more we move on, the more I hear these messages, and you're still thinking if you should say my name, you should damn straight say my name. There is a lot to think about. There is. My doors are locked. But this is your time to decide if I'm for you or not. Am I your twin? Do you feel what I feel? Is what we feel real? Or am I alone in this? Am I the only one that feels this way for you? Is it just me? Because these messages that you're sending me, because I've never seen anybody, it's not a coincidence. I've never seen anybody. I mean, these are your people. They forgive you. That's fine. I forgive you too. But I don't trust these guys. I don't trust people. Babe, my love for you doesn't need to be shared with anyone else. No, I love you. Sweetheart, the heart that truly loves you knows no age. My baby, my love, my friend, you are my life, and we belong to each other. I've never seen messages like this before, and for me, I feel like those were Justin. Not only that, I got this I forgive you. I forgive him. I'm not angry. I'm hurt. When you're hurt, it doesn't just go away. It takes a process. I have to heal. I'm still working on you. I'm still building what all this is. I'm still building. People, when you suffer with a mental issue, you can easily snap. That's where my worries are. You can easily, and it's not just that. Love is dangerous on its own. That's not the only thing to worry about or to be afraid of. When twins are in love with each other, he is so psychotic when it comes to you that if you were to ever leave him, your heart and your life and your body is his home. It belongs to him. And when you try to run, if you try to run, he can easily kill you right there. This is the dangers of twins. Don't think it's always going to be a safe situation. Romeo and Juliet did it. Justin Bieber says, like Romeo and Juliet, that they never felt the way we felt Bonnie and Clyde. Never had to hide like we do. We're not going to hide anymore, you know? I am in love with you, and I'll never stop being in love with you, and I'll never stop loving you. More than words is what you ask for. That's what this is. More than words. But I don't have much money like you have much money. I only get like $1,800 a month, and most of that goes to my rent, my light bill, my phone bill, my puppy. This tattoo costs me $500 that I didn't have. I had it, but that money could have also went elsewhere. It could have went into my savings account for my future. But you are my future. You are my priority. You are my responsibility. I cannot watch my man be out there dragged. I cannot watch my man go through this and be alone with nobody there to stand up for him, neglecting him, abandoning him. These are all messages. I go on and on about you. On and on. On and on. On and on. On and on. Novels, on and on. On and on. And on. Defending you, because that's what love is. While everybody says, I love you both. I love them. Who's the guy next to him? I signed you, Justin. Why are you sticking your middle finger at me? Nothing. But when it comes to me, to you, this is how I feel. There is a lot more to say than 3 words. When somebody says they love you, they say action more than words, but if you want Haley and that's who you want to be with, you can have her. You guys can stay together. You guys are already together. I'll figure it out. I'll get in the studio. I'll make music, and I will feed the Black community that is willing to be fed, that has been helping me, and that's willing to help. That's where my heart is. But I also have a heart for white people that have been abused and beat and hurt in the white community, but in the Black community. But if they don't have a heart for me, then I don't have a heart for them. That's that. If I can't get what my heart's desires, then what's the purpose? What's the point of all of this? At the end of the day, that's how I feel. That's the truth. If you don't truly love me and you're wearing your hat backwards and you're confusing me, making me think that you care about me, only to trap me, to set me up, to take me somewhere private. So what? So you can hurt me? Those are all the things that I could be afraid of. Those are all my fears. And I'm pretty sure you feel those same fears. So we just have to face the day and go through what we go through. But here I am, throwing myself at you once again. Because if this is who you want to be with, then here she is, throwing herself at you. I love you, and I'm sorry if this message hurts you. I'm exhausted on a daily basis. I just want to educate you, and you tell me what you've been through as a white person. But let me tell you what the Black community has been through, and they keep reminding them what they've been through, so to keep them in their place, to keep them under control, or to keep them oppressed. There is a system that they have to fight against every day, that they're still fighting today. And they're fighting each other, while the white community is continuously building each other. They're doing better. They're getting better. But Black people are still hanging out on the street without a place to go, still dealing with the trauma and the damage that white people did a long time ago, and they're passed on to their children. Children are passing it on to more children. I don't hate you, I love you. But do you really love me? And, you know, that's where I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to take a break from this because this is a lot for me. I love you and I wish you the best.